Thinking back to the start of the class, what did you believe about leadership before you joined the HESI 217 class?
Before I joined, I thought leadership emphasized more of just like a leader, like a singular person, and not really like those around him or her. I didn't really realize there was a difference between like being just a leader and leadership, and I didn't realize how complex leadership was as a concept. I thought it was relatively cut and dry. I knew anybody could be a leader before this class, but I believed leadership was more focused around like the title you had and the responsibilities one was given. And from my experience in high school, I knew that leadership was foundational. It's a bottom-up process, but I didn't realize that it emphasized the followers just as much as it emphasized the individual seeming to lead the pack. Yeah.
In what ways has the class influenced your beliefs about leadership? How has your personal philosophy of leadership changed or grown? Refer to specific readings, discussions, or activities that led to these changes.
The class has definitely influenced my beliefs by exposing me to new information about how leadership is developed over somebody's lifetime and what like theories are at play in leadership. I knew what leadership was like when it presented itself and how it worked, but I didn't know like the specific names of like the theories that influence how we engage in leadership. And this class provided me the opportunity to learn more about like the scientific and technical concepts that I already had like some prior knowledge of, but not enough to really like put a name to it. And after going over all the readings, the presentations, our discussions, I've been able to take on so many other people's perspectives and sort of like bring them into my own and figure out what leadership means to other people and sort of encompass it into what I think leadership is. And for example, like from the readings and the presentations, like I did the psychodynamic theory for my presentation with Will, and it really exposed me to how emotions play into our leadership skills and how much of a role our subconscious plays in. And I really think that it has allowed my leadership to grow in the class as a person, to think that I can take in other people's perspectives and be able to work with people, build relationships, and really take into account what other people are thinking to make whatever team I'm working with or whatever situation I'm in work the best for everybody and to achieve the best results. And I think the class overall has been a great opportunity for me to learn more about other people and how to be a better effective leader.
How would you summarize your current philosophy on leadership?
I continue to believe that leadership is a bottom-up process and that no one can make like significant change alone, even if you don't realize it. Leadership takes a team and a support system to establish effective leadership to affect the change that you want. I believe that leadership is very relational, and it depends on making connections, networking, and always making sure that you work well with other people and you maintain respect for everyone in that process, even if you disagree with them. As a leader, I think that you should always listen to different perspectives, criticisms, and counterpoints that could strengthen your perspective and bring more value to the discussion at hand and could provide a potential solution to the issue that you and your team are trying to solve. And finally, I think that leadership is a never-ending learning process. I think that people further develop their leadership skills through trial and error over the course of their lifetime, and they find out what works best for them, and you will find out what works best for you.
In what ways might you apply this philosophy to your life at UMD or another university?
I can practice this philosophy at UMD most readily in SGA, as I'm the first year representative in SGA. Building good relationships has been my main objective since I've been appointed to the organization, and it is a must in the organization to listen to my fellow representatives in both our committees and in our general body meetings, especially because they can run 2, 3, 4 hours long, but mainly because it's important to get their perspective on the issues and their concerns to be able to work together to solve the problems facing students here on campus. And I can also use this philosophy in my living learning program, Civicus, in which I'm also the freshman chair, to try to listen to the concerns of my peers, make change for them, and try to build good relationships with them to make sure that my program is a home to them, to me, and to incoming freshmen next year.